So, as it turns out, Apple have been working on a brand new super powerful range of Macs, and that is what we are going to look at in this video. Welcome back to Apple Views. I wasn't intending to make another video before this coming Tuesday's peak performance event, which if you are here in the UK will be streaming live at 6 p.m. and in one way or another I'll be covering it. And I hadn't intended to make another video. I thought I'd wait for the event and then recap on what was in the event afterwards. But over the course of the weekend, I was looking at Twitter and my attention was drawn to some stories that I found in Mac Rumours. And it would seem that Apple have been working on a completely new tier, a completely new range of Macs that we've not seen before. And they're going to sit somewhere between the current high-end Intel Mac Mini and the Mac Pro. As we know, both of those machines are still running Intel chips, so at some point are going to be replaced. But it seems that we've got a brand new range coming in that they're going to call, we think, the Studio range. And it's two parts. It comes in a super powerful Mac Mini, we think, and also a brand new monitor. And I'm going to look at the monitors first because that's something there's been some confusion about, it would seem, leading up to this point. Don't forget, if you're enjoying these videos, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on all notifications so you never miss another video. It's going to be busy over the next few weeks, I'm sure. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at @DTalkingTech. Right, let's get into these monitors then. During the last few months, you might have noticed there's been a bit of a drought on news. And during that drought, a lot of the conversation has been around displays. I've written about it myself. And the thinking was that we know we're getting some new Mac Minis this year, possibly as soon as this coming week's peak performance event. So to go with those Mac Minis, the clever money was thinking it would get some consumer level displays to go along with. So you could go and buy a Mac Mini, buy a monitor, Apple makes money, you get a gorgeous setup, everyone's happy. But if the reports that I read this weekend in Mac Rumours and in 9to5Mac are to be believed, then it looks like the whole game has changed. This new level of Macs, which is currently called the Studio range, as I said, it's going to sit somewhere between the high-end Intel Mac Mini and the Mac Pro, which they've still to develop with silicon, Apple silicon. So that we know is to come. And if they develop this range, it would give them more time to work on the Mac Pro. So this range then is going to have two elements. It will have the Mac Mini, the driving part behind it, which I'll come to in just a minute. And it also, of course, needs the monitor, which is where we come to now. So rather than going the route of being consumer level displays, the thought now is they're going to go very high end. This new monitor, which is codenamed J327 in development, it comes packed with the A13 chip inside, and it's going to be 7K. Now, we're not sure of the size. It could be a 32-inch, it could be a 36-inch. We're not sure on the pixel count either. It may retain the 218 pixels per inch of the current Pro Display XDR, or it could take a jump up to 245 pixels per inch. But it's going to be a very high-end display, that's for sure. And it would be the first time since the cinema display went away in 2014 that they could have a multiple number of displays available. And we know they've got the technology to make a 24-inch display from last year's 24-inch iMac, so they could have a 24-inch. Potentially they could retain the Pro Display XDR 32-inch, and this new Studio monitor could be a 36-inch 7K display. That would be an amazing range of displays to have in a range. And then that would give them the chance maybe from the 24-inch to make that more affordable. And then we go on to the pro level range of monitors. I'd love to know, what are your thoughts? What would you like to see Apple do with monitors? Would you buy one if they released a more consumer level monitor, or do you simply want the best of the best and that's why you turn to Apple? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you want from Apple with these monitors. But it looks set that we are definitely going to get at least different monitors this year. We're not sure it's going to be additions or replacements, but we're going to get something new in the Apple lineup of monitors. And now to the brains behind this Studio range of Macs, and that is the actual Mac that you're going to buy to go along with it. We think there are two Mac Minis, essentially, that are in development at the moment. Their codename is J375. One will use the existing M1 Max chip inside, but the other version they're developing is going to be super powerful with an as yet unreleased version of the Apple Silicon chip. But it's going to be super, super powerful. Mark Gurman, the ultra-reliable Mac reporter, has suggested that there could be a brand new chassis for this Studio range of Macs, or the Mac Mini, and that would fit in perfectly with what we're hearing this weekend. And the new chip that I'm talking about, it sounds like it could be up to 40 CPU cores and as much as 128 GPU cores. And don't forget, the monitor as well has got the A13 chip inside of it. Port-wise, you are going to be spoiled, we expect, on this studio range of Macs, with at least 4 USB Type-C ports, 2 USB Type-A ports, HDMI and Ethernet. Now, design hasn't been confirmed. As I mentioned, Mark Gurman said there could be a new chassis coming along. So maybe rather than being the existing shape of the Mac Mini, it might be more of a cube shape. And just imagine that, if it looks something similar to the Mac Pro, but was in more of a cube shape, sitting on your desk alongside that new 7K monitor, that would be some setup. Prices clearly haven't been discussed yet. Neither has the release date. We don't expect there to be any of this coming at next week's event. It's possible, just possible, with the title being called Peak with a double EK, Peak Performance, they might mention what they've got coming up with this studio range of Macs. It could be that's what they're getting at. It's a little peek to the future. So maybe they might show us or tell us something about what's in development and then maybe unveil it at WWDC in June. That certainly seems to be a solid thought and one that I get behind at the moment. It would make absolute sense for them to do that. But I don't think we're going to see them at this week's event, unfortunately. But that is what we know currently about this brand new super powerful range of Macs that, don't forget, if rumours are to be believed, could have up to 40 CPU cores and 128 GPU cores. This thing's going to fly. And just to wrap up this video with what we know we're getting at this week's Peak Performance event, well, we know we're getting the iPhone SE. No design changes as such from the 2020 version. It's still based on iPhone 8. There might be an extra colour or two in the range. And other than that, 5G inside, that's all you're getting. We're also getting the iPad Air. On that, we think we're going to be seeing the A15 chip put inside of it, as was in the iPad Mini of last year. And also, the front-facing camera should get centre stage. You know, that fancy little trick they do wherever you move, the camera keeps you pretty much centre of the screen. Other than that, not an awful lot of changes. Again, there might be the odd colour added to the range in iPad Air. But let me know in the comments, what are you most looking forward to seeing at this week's event? Don't forget, if you're looking to watch it live and you're here in the UK, it streams on Apple TV and on YouTube at 6 p.m. And I'd love to know after the event what you thought of it. Be sure to let me know in the comments. And if you've got a few moments spare at the end of this video, I'll leave a link where you can watch me talk about all of the Apple news in the week just gone. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Get behind me on Twitter at dtalkingtech, and I'll see you after Peak Performance.